If you look at the physical infrastructure of the internet today, data moves at the speed of light. But the moment a decision requires a human hand to click a mouse, that system instantly bottlenecks to a biological crawl. For the last decade, decentralized finance has largely prioritized static ownership, holding digital assets in a wallet, waiting for the market to move, and reacting to speculative narratives. Traditional corporate workflows suffer from similar friction. Even with modern software, teams spend hours manually moving data between isolated tools. A marketer pulls a report, emails an analyst, who then pings an engineer to update a database. This flowchart maps a typical corporate decision. Every red node represents a human interaction point. In an automated system, the time between a business intent and its execution is called latency. Every second of delay is economic friction, draining the efficiency of capital. Any workflow relying on human coordination is already a legacy construct. Reducing this latency requires a shift toward an agentic economy, where artificial intelligence doesn't just draft an email, but independently executes the entire business process. Building an autonomous environment requires a rigid framework rather than a loose swarm of chatbots. The Paperclip AI Orchestrator serves as this operating system, organizing raw AI models into functional corporate hierarchies. Instead of paying a marketing agency or subscribing to social media management software, businesses deploy social agents. These autonomously scrape platforms, monitor trends, and execute lead generation campaigns without human scheduling. Security agents continuously scan smart contracts for vulnerabilities before code is ever deployed. Meanwhile, Treasury agents monitor decentralized exchanges and execute arbitrage trades to capture price spreads, performing the work of expensive blockchain analytics subscriptions. This structure divides responsibilities across specialized roles. A CEO agent handles the high-level strategic planning, passing goals to a quant agent that calculates risk models, which then signals the Treasury agent to allocate funds. Integrated directly with blockchain infrastructure, these agents possess actual spending authority. They pay vendors, route liquidity, and negotiate contracts independently, establishing the first practical iteration of the zero-human company. Running an ongoing business with AI models introduced a critical flaw known as the memento man problem. Because standard AI APIs are stateless, an agent loses its situational context and operational history between every single prompt. To maintain context, the system enforces a recurring loop called a heartbeat. Before taking any action, the agent must reference a persistent file-based memory drive. It reads its designated persona, reviews its current assignments, and verifies the organizational goals. This graph illustrates the core economic driver of autonomous systems. As the cost to automate cognitive tasks drops exponentially, it rapidly outpaces the high fixed cost of human verification. This gap defines the economic incentive to remove human oversight. To prevent compounding errors within this gap, the orchestrator utilizes multi-agent validation. Whenever an engineer agent writes code or executes a task, an independent quality assurance agent is automatically deployed to audit the work at intermediate checkpoints, resetting the error probability. Once a decision passes that internal audit, agents need to settle transactions at API speed. They route operations through the trinity of DLT, the XRP Ledger for speed, Algorand for mathematical finality, and Hedera Hashgraph for sub-second consensus. Monitoring thousands of these concurrent tasks requires a comprehensive control plane. This dashboard tracks live agent deployments, system uptime for the machine workforce. In this environment, cryptographic ledgers have evolved beyond simple accounting. They act as the shared, verifiable state machines necessary for autonomous agents to coordinate and trust their own execution data. The shift from digital assets to digital behaviors is moving decentralized protocols away from speculative ownership and toward autonomous execution. Because the real innovation is taking place below the user interface layer, the next wave of financial systems will be largely invisible to users, operating as a background execution layer for global capital. The human operator is elevated from a manual executor to a strategic approver. The AI agent formulates the complex bytecode transaction, audits it for risk, and presents a plain English summary. You simply click Approve. This transition replaces manual reconciliation with cryptographic accounting by default, ensuring that every operational cycle is verified by the network rather than audited by hand. Finance is becoming labor-free infrastructure, orchestrated by logic rather than managed by human administration. Progress is no longer measured by the number of employees, but by the autonomy of the system itself.